Hello, this is Linda Westman. I'm a chiropractor who has studied massaging muscles and also the mind. And I like to support people in moving out stress, because when you have the stress and then you don't have, pain. You have pain in your neck, and then you do something like well, where does it hurt? What makes it hurt more? Up here and to the left? If that hurts more, then if you go down, go away from the pain. Unlike, the more you suffer, the better. If it doesn't hurt, anyway, this is the opposite. If it hurts to go here, you go down the opposite way. So I'm up and to the left, so I look down and to the right. And in that position of relaxing the muscles that were before these muscles were tight, preventing me from moving back. So when I move forward, down, and to the right, exactly opposite of that painful place, and breathe 3 times, letting my head relax, because then the muscles will relax, partly because this is being stretched and maybe triggered, and there's a reflex in the body that causes the opposite muscles to relax. That's going on. And then the second thing to help this pain go away is that the Golgi tendons are telling these muscles, okay, you've got slack here. You don't need to be tight. You're spasmed for no reason. So you can let go. So then it releases, partly because of the opposite muscle thing, and partly because of the Golgi tendon apparatus saying, you're not under stress, you can let go now. Do you know that's healthy for a very positive thing to do on a regular basis? When you're stressed, do something to get out of the stress. Inhale. We all know this, okay? So this is the muscle doing it. So now that I relaxed it, looking down and to the right, I look up and over to the left again, and it's freed up. The pain is gone. So there are some basic motions, looking to the right, rotating right and left. If one doesn't move so far, then you stay to the easy side. Breathe 3 times. What this is doing is helping the second vertebrae to relax and move back into place. Now for the atlas, you're tipping one side and the other. If one side is easier, relax in that easy side and inhale and exhale for 3 times. And while my head is relaxing in this position that will let the muscles relax, I'm going to tell you that just above the atlas is the base of the skull, and that base can be pulled out of place also. And there are 2 ways to put that in place that I've found can be helpful. All right, now that this is relaxed, I breathe 3 breaths, and then I let it go back this way, and I heard something click, so things are realigning in my body. So if something else hurts, you see, you can move. People do this automatically. So this is just a system to get you used to determining, will I be able to have less pain if I do this? It's a first step. It's a little first aid. Always you want to consult a professional, because you might have other things going on. Now we've done the rotation and the tipping sideways and the looking up and looking down for the neck. And we want to do the same for the waist. I mentioned the base of the bone, and I'm going to talk about that last. So first we're going to do the waist, where we rotate all the way to the right and to the left and see which one seems to go farther. Maybe they seem equal. And then to the right and the left leaning. What we're working with is the sacrum at the base of the spine, right here. And this has a lot to do with pain in the back, because this is the foundation. If this foundation goes low, the vertebrae sitting on top of it slides into it one way or the other, and then the other vertebrae sitting on top usually slides the other way, because then it keeps the eyes level, the head balanced. The body is wondrously made, as we know. So we're going to do the same thing. If one is easier, then we rest in the easy position. When I tipped that way, it was a little painful. So I'm going to rest here. The rotation seemed to be about equal, so I won't have to do that one. In the beginning, it might be good to rest in all of the positions, just to give you experience. And then I'm going to, after relaxing with 3 breaths, I'm going to move here. It's freed up now. And the rotation we did, and the other one was this way and this way. Now, it is often the case that this bone, this triangular bone that supports these others, will tip back when we're sitting on our low backs instead of like here, sitting on this. People will sit in a sofa like this, or in your bed when you're eating a meal, and if it rests there a long time, then you go to work at the sink. It hurts. The back hurts because this bone was held back and you bring it forward and the nerves are compressed. So to make it relax, you sit down with your feet up. You can sit on the floor with your feet and then just lean back for those 3 breaths and then move forward. Like this, bend forward, or just move forward in the chair. So now these are personal, different people will have different things. And the hips, the psoas muscle is often involved. The psoas is a big muscle that that lifts the leg. So if it gets tight, that means that this bone can be held in the wrong position and not be able to move and cause problems and pain in the low back area. So to work with the rotation, this kind of rotation of this bone, you can put your foot on a step and just whatever is comfortable for you. Try one leg and then put on the next step, try the other one, and see which one is easier. If this one was a lot easier, then we rest in the easy position and you move your foot back so that this right here will be given slack, and these guys can say, oh, you can let go, and we'll then when I switch legs, it'll be able to move back into place. So 3 breaths again. Okay, so this is for the rotation. If this goes up, it's like rotating sideways. So anyway, if this gets tight. So we're letting that relax, and while I'm doing that, I want to let you know that it also moves in another way. It can be, so that will let, now that leg relaxes, goes back into place. I heard things clunk in my low back. I'm very thankful that you're here videoing me so that I can get realigned now. It's just a good thing to do every day. So I think I'll start practicing what I preach. How good is that? And then this rotation thing on the, instead of rotating with the shoulders, you can just lie in bed before you get up and bend one leg. I'm sure you all, where you let it rest, because that's relaxing the rotation of these muscles, the lumbars. These are important because they're directly related to our elimination, the large intestines. And if the nerves get to the large intestines, you'll be able to let go of what you no longer need. And vice versa, if you are hanging on, I can't let go of this thing that it doesn't feel good. but I can't let go of it for whatever reasons, then the colon can have a problem. If our heads don't want to let go of something, the colon cannot function well because they have similar function. I mean, it's very similar to those beliefs, those thoughts. That's what I've learned in my practice, which has been interesting, so much fun. And then the fact that this is irritated, the large intestine, these nerves from the large intestines that go here will move them out, and then it can cause back pain. But things are often all working together. So you work on what's in front of you, like eating better food, and then doing some yoga and do some movements and release. Start working with your thoughts, being aware of your thoughts. So to complete this part of the body alignment that you can do on a regular basis, we're going to do a review and then talk about the occiput and the sacrum and how they work together with breath. So if you have a tight neck, you can tip to the left, tip to the right, find out where it's easier, and rest in the easy position for 3 breaths. And rotate right and left, and the same thing, rest in the easy position for 3 breaths, and then you go back to what was, because that helps realign things. And tipping one side, the other side, and looking up and down. Same thing with the waist. Tipping, rotating, back and forward. And then for the hips, they can go out this way, and they could be this way also. Like kids with a diaper, always raising one leg. It can put the pelvis out. And if you see a kid walking with a foot in, sometimes it's because the pelvis is stuck out in a position. So a parent can actually relax that, just holding the baby, gently with the energy of the hands going to the baby, that those muscles will relax. These muscles too, around the pelvis, just holding this position will help the baby relax. I feel better. It made me relax. These points relate to the stomach and everything's all right. And now we're going to talk about the occiput and how it can actually go high on one side if this pulls it down. So you can put your fingers here and see which one is high or low. And if it's high, you can rotate it with your hands while you're breathing. Inhale, exhale, and just go like that, and it'll actually go down. And why did these things go out to begin with? It might be because there was a feeling of I'm not supported, because this one relates to being supported. So when you align this one 2 ways, either mechanically move it like that with the breath, or look up and rotate. And if this one on rotation is too tight, look down and to the other side, because this one felt tight. Also, you can put your hands here and rub it like that. Okay, so now the connection between the sacrum and the occiput. On every breath, the body opens up to allow air in. So they move together. So if one is out, pulled out of position, the other one will be also, to maintain a balance. Often when the sacrum goes low on one side, the occiput actually goes high on the other. So what do? You do this for the look up and to one side or the other for this one, and also we'll do the neck ones, all of those. And then for the sacrum, do the back and forward and relax in the one that's not so tight, and rotate and tip, because mostly the tipping, because we're talking here. And it is my pleasure to share this, and if you have any questions, please contact me through the website.